Hi there, welcome to the Obachanchatter. Today is what is the day? What is the day? Today is April the 2nd. It's Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, April the 2nd. I'm sorry I'm out of it. My granddaughter turned um 12 yesterday, but we've been celebrating her birthday. Beauty parlor the day before, then the nails done, then pick up the cake. You know how it goes. So listen, that's not why you're here. Let's do this part one review of season reunion part one of season 14. So you got the lady showing up. Everybody ready. The says she's really anxious and she's not leaving anything on the table. She's gonna leave everything on the stage. We got Sudden visiting in her dressing room. Garcelle, she brought her gift. Inside of it, some type of vibrator, it looked like. Kyle is getting her hair done and putting on her makeup. She outside, got her crystals charging in the sun. So Andy asked her, did she feel like on the cast is a double standard? And she was like, yeah, we'll get to the bottom of it. So Garcelle says that to while she's talking to Sutton, she says that Kyle was stopped by paparazzi or somebody in the airport and they asked her how her and Garcelle were doing. And the paparazzi said, Kyle said they doing just great. And she was like, huh? They was good. So you got Erika, she in there talking to Kyle. I think she's talking to Kyle about what's been happening. And she said that, you ready? And they like, yeah, I'm ready. So she said what you could do if it get too stanky, you could pass out and say that you got to go to the hospital like Sutton did last season when she knew Kathy was coming out of there. And then of course Andy clowns Sutton about that and say we're trying to find the cards that we had for Kathy so we can ask you them questions that made you get off the stage. So anyway, Kyle said that faint thing might work, and she said, get us to leave, and I have to be the one to go with you. So that's how Erika and Kyle will escape the reunion. So the ladies start coming out, and everybody thinking they look good. Dorit, her dress like it's too damn big. She like she ain't been eating, or she need to stop taking that Ozempic. Um, Sudden, I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't like her dress either. Like it's out of season. Like it's for the Christmas holiday. Kyle didn't like her dress either. Her mesh wasn't sheer enough, or that sheer material wasn't sheer enough. It looked like it was a little too big, wasn't tight enough. She don't have the body for it. Garcelle wasn't that crazy about her. She had too much arm fat coming out the back of hers. I thought she should put her hair up, it being down, look kind of flat. I didn't like the Michael Jackson extended gloves on her arms neither. Erika didn't like her dress neat. She was something out of Han Solo or some kind of shit in her hair. She looked stoked. She almost like a statue, but I don't think looking like a statue is good. So he go around the table asking him stuff. Kyle, Kyle, them your crystals. What you got them for? To give me clarity and blah blah blah. And Bo's dress looked better on screen than it did in the picture. I still didn't like that thing that was hanging off the back of that train. Ew. So Garcelle told Kyle before she sit down that she looks nice. She compliments on her hair, and she tells Sutton, she said, "Oh my gosh, she's pissed. She didn't even look over there at me." So I was like, "Yeah, bitch, she mad at you." So they asked Erika that her song is featured in Honor, which is a movie I saw. I think the girl got Best Actress or Supporting Best Actress. So she was the lead actress in the movie for her name Marty something for that Honor movie, and she was like, "Yeah, it's nominated for best whatever picture or whatever." So they thank her. Garcelle had a granddaughter whose name is Valley, and her son Albert still worked for Lisa Vanderpump, and Lisa Vanderpump wanted to be the baby's godmother, and she's sitting there debating that shit. I'd already done it. So they talked to Bo. She said she's excited to be here. The reason why she's excited that she knows she's right. And I'm just gonna say, I was hoping it wasn't true, but both she's starting to from out here, cause I ain't opened the package up. She's looking like an Oreo. I'm just saying. So Dorit made British Vogue. She says the dream come true, I guess. So Andy asked what was anybody's intent. Kyle says hers is to leave better than what she came. And Garcelle says, yes, I agree. I would like to do that. Maybe we can take a cast photo this time because it hadn't took more than 2 years. So let's start talking about Dorit and her separation from PK, how it made the news. And they make fun of her because she in her car. She's smoking a cigarette now. Some kind of, they said it's turned into a meme. So they ask her, she said she never thought. Oh, so sorry. It is so cloudy outside and the wind is blowing so hard, y'all. And I'm like slanted. Let me sit my butt up. Okay. So anyway, she was like she didn't give a fuck. She wanted to smoke, so she smoked. So she said she was a social smoker. Then Erika let her know now you're a stress smoker. So now she's a stress smoker. So anyway, somebody somebody put in a viewer question saying the Reek different now, and did she think the reason why she different is because she was trying to keep her job? And the question was addressed to Kyle. And she was like, I mean, no, I mean, I just knew she was like, okay, yeah, I think so. So, Kyle, so the research, so what would make you think that? She said, you friends with all the producers, bitch, you been around for 14 years, and you kissing Andy on the cheek and shit, you know. When I talk, this motherfucker start yawning, but you say something, he light up, I just don't get it. So, but either or, if my job was in jeopardy, you would know before probably anybody in the whole fucking cast. Did you have wind of that? No, I mean, I'm sticking by my opinion. So anyway, Andy asked her if she told her kids about the divorce, and she said, nope, they ain't asking no questions, so I ain't telling them shit. So she asked Sutton about that, and Sutton said she didn't tell her kids for a whole year after she was divorced or some shit. And he said, you seem that's hypocritical. And she said, well, you know, I felt like I'm just giving her my experience because I felt like for me, it was a mistake. So Derek said, well, what the fuck was the consequences from your mistake? She said, you know, it was like trust issues. And I want my kids to be very open and honest with me and share things with me. And so anyway, she was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So she said she sees less and less of PK. So Andy asked was she still in love with him. She said, yes, he's my soul. He's my heart. Yeah. So she said, we asked PK to come. She said, I know, but he declined. But he did send a statement. She said, did he? So he said he declined to engage in the forum because he didn't think it would be in the best interest of his family. He said he is a good father. He don't know why she said that. And he said his Dorit, the one that he married and loved, would never let no shit like this be said about him or about his family, and how he didn't appreciate that. But that's the woman that he loved was kind and this and that, and that she different, and that he had friends that wanted to come out and combat what she said about him not being a good father. But he's asked them to stand down, you know, don't get involved, you know, this too shall pass type of shit. So, you know, PK could have come, and she said she wanted him to come. She don't want the shit to be one sided. She don't want it to be just all only her talking. And she said, you know what? If I ain't changed in 14 years, then there is a fucking problem. So she should have changed. So Andy tell her your stick is kind of like the clothes and the glam and you know the fab life. And she said, yeah, it is. See, they part of who I am. That shit that made me happy. And she said, and PK loved it about me. So she said, and he loves the fame. She said, he loved taking the picture. So I just think he's insecure. She said, do you think he think you changed because you famous? And something gonna say, I was like, she is well known. She more well known because of the show now than she ever was. So what you doing that shit for? So Kyle, he asked if she changed. And she said, yeah, she's different. He said, well, I mean, she's more aggressive and angry. I said, yeah, that bitch ain't falling in line with you. That's why she aggressive and angry. Because she talked to your ass different this year. Because she was tired of your shit. She tired of everybody's shit. So she told you was going to get a lick too. It's just a difference of breed. She said, and then I just thought that with the way she was talking about PK, that, being a little bit manipulative. I mean, he's an alcoholic. He's a monster. I don't know. So somebody had said that Kyle was acting as if she wasn't believing the abused over the abuser. And she was like, no, I'm just saying she was saying stuff, exaggerating stuff about me, so how couldn't it be that she was exaggerating stuff about him? And I'm like, bitch, this your friend. So Dorit was like, what the fuck are you talking about? She said, first of all, how you supposed to know all this shit? If all y'all do is joke and tell memes, how the fuck you supposed to know anything about anybody manipulating anybody? So she said, I was just saying that, because, you was just saying shit and he couldn't defend himself. Why do he have to defend himself with you and me? With you? Or even with me and we the ones supposed to be friends? I don't know. So she said, it's just, I'm just saying, it's just like something about Kyle said something about being just semantics. So, Kyle said, I'm just telling you from my own experience when I yelled out that my sister was an alcoholic. I said it because I was angry. And I thought you said it too, Kyle, Dorit, because you just angry at PK because y'all wasn't getting along. I said, she could have hell said it because she angry and ain't getting along with him. That don't mean he ain't no goddamn alcoholic. Well, I'm just saying, being alcoholic and drinking excessively is not the same thing. She was just doing semantic shit. So I was just like, man, just leave this alone. So Sutton going to intervene when she knows she shouldn't say shit because she don't even get along with the Reed. Well, I felt like he was throwing him under the bus. It looked like he was throwing him under the bus. And I wasn't throwing him no goddamn way. I told y'all he was an alcoholic. He told me I could talk about his sobriety. He talked about his shit. I mean, but he did it in the press, not on TV. Them bitches was just trying to find shit to bounce stuff off of. I was like, well, they just please. So anyway, Kyle was just like I said, I wasn't trying to diminish anything. I just thought she was exaggerating on me, so how come she couldn't be exaggerating on him? I'm like, this bitch. So, Kyle started arguing about what does it matter when they found you was getting separated. Nobody, I think, is doing the separation. Nobody reached out to you. Garcelle said I didn't, and why would Garcelle? None of his ladies, only me. But did you give me any credit for that? No. And I reached out to you, and she said you missing the point, you dumbass bitch. You're supposed to be my friend. You text that motherfucker first, then you text me. That's my issue. That ain't my issue. I don't give a fuck about none of this. But apparently, and then, if you my friend, I won't care if you reach out to my husband and say, yeah, I'm sorry to hear about y'all shit. That's enough. And even if you don't, that's cool too. Probably better if you don't do it. But to text him first and then to hold my shit, no, I didn't feel that way about that. Like I said, nobody else texts you but me. I was the only one that cared. So, Andy asked Dorit was PK sober, and she said, I don't know. I can't talk about that. And he was like, why is he drinking? And she was like, he has told me that that's not something he wanted to discuss with me. And Erika said, I think that's because he's drinking. So, Andy asked Dorit, was she concerned? She said, yeah, I'm concerned. So then all of a sudden out of nowhere, Erika said, is that my dining room, my living room table? Well, this bitch is so ignorant. I do not like Erika. She always got, if the attention ain't on her, she got to just throw her mouth in there. So then Kyle said, you had a whole lot to say about Dorit and her money, Dorit and PK money, their finances. are you worried about him? She said, yes, I am. And Dorit started laughing. She said, the fuck you worried about me for? She said, I mean, I just know. Is your mortgage in your name? She was like, why the fuck would I tell you that with my mortgages and what my mortgage doing? And you don't even like me. You think I'm gonna tell you that shit? She said, I'm just saying. I mean, those who brings the count, they'll find everything. Like I was surprised when I found out I was part on the two baseball teams. And Andy said that was a nice surprise. She said, yeah, I know. So I was surprised. I was like, shut the fuck up. You can't give nobody no advice. Especially if you're trying to act like you're a woman going in. You ain't even know half the shit you had. That probably had your goddamn signature on it. Your signature on it that he signed your name for you. You don't even know what the fuck you had. Cause is your name on the mortgage? You ain't had no, you still don't have no accountability when it comes to money. I think you're a little bit on the stingy side because you buy your friends. But when you want to buy them, of course. But you don't know nothing about no damn money. She should have told you that and said, look, you were surprised that you was the owner of some baseball teams. How the fuck you don't know that? And you married to this man. Girl, get out of my face. So, they get to talking again about Garcelle. And Erika said some shit like, what kind of life you got? I think I missed the page. No, that's my last one. I don't know. We're just gonna blow it off the cuff. We already did this one. Okay, so listen. So anyway, it's Garcelle time, and Garcelle is like, it's like we don't see none of Erika. We don't see none of your life. You ain't doing shit. I mean, you don't go on no dates. She said I went on a couple of dates, but it ain't amount to nothing. And then here go Bose. You ain't get you no nookie, no. And she was like, no. She said, girl, we got to work on that. Shut up, Bose. You just started dating somebody a couple months ago. What the fuck was you doing before that? So she's like, we got to work on that. She said, yeah, I know. She said, I'm showing you my life. She said, I don't do shit. I spend as much time as I can with my kids. She do what most single black mothers do that I know of. I don't really know that white single mothers or divorced moms. I don't have that many people, that many friends in my circle like that. But that's what we do. We spend time with our children. If we got grandkids, we spend time with our grandkids. We probably have already reached where we want to be in our careers, but we are working, to try to figure it out, do something different, change careers, just whatever. Just a different stretch of life. So she said, I showed y'all. I wish it was some more juicy shit to show y'all. There's nothing to show y'all. So then Carl was like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have showed y'all 14 years of my life. Arguing with my family, problems with my marriage, problems with my kids. No, Kyle, you have showed us what you wanted us to see. You have not opened up shit and forgot no cameras there. We don't know shit about Morgan from the time she was on the show to she wasn't. And it's not your job. If that is, and I think Garcelle was right. If we see you with pictures, you sitting on this bitch lap, y'all holding hands and kissing behind stage, whatever the fuck y'all doing, feeding each other fruit from off of skewers and all types of shit. And they see that shit going on, so y'all all gonna be sitting at the table talking about your life. And then when it's your turn, you ain't got shit going on, and you all in front of People magazine. You all on TMZ with this bitch, but they're supposed to pretend like it ain't nothing there. And yeah, Garcelle a little bit messy because she want to hear the juice and she want to hear the tea just like the rest of us. But you try to act like you some fucking open book. You ain't tell us shit about nothing, and even then we do ask you shit, you still dance around. She didn't ask for this. Listen, if you got you somebody that's too young, that can't handle the stage fame, get you somebody else that got other lesbians that would love to be sticking their tongue down your goddamn throat and hanging around you and them old ass housewives. You would. You really would. You would find somebody. And somehow it started triggering her drinking and all that type of shit. Man, whatever. And then again, we keep asking about Mo. We're gonna talk. We gotta have a talk. Every time you come back from a trip, you're on this motherfucker talking. When you come back from a trip, he gone on a trip. Y'all ain't talking about shit. And we got some of the assets together. And man, get the fuck out of here. I'm sick of Kyle too. So I guess Garcelle said fuck his gloves off. She's like, what did you talk to me about off camera? She's like, what? She said, what did you come and talk to me about? She said, you came to talk to me to tell me that you didn't want to talk about Morgan. She said, I wasn't making no big deal. She said, but she was on the show last year and she didn't sign no contract and she didn't sign one this year too. She said, well, if her ass wouldn't have came last year and then been in the papers with you and shit this year, I wouldn't have asked nothing. She said, well, so why did you talk to me off camera? She said, because I thought we was friends. Get the fuck out of here, Kyle. You do not think Garcelle is your friend. Till you want her to do, till you want something from her. She is not your friend. And you know she ain't your friend either. And why is Sutton just sitting there not saying shit? So Kyle said, what did you say after Kyle left Sutton? She said, I said, I'm going to respect her. And Garcelle said, that is not what you said. She said, yeah, it is. I didn't say that. She said, yeah, you did. You said, that's a chess move. And that just fucked Kyle up. I can't believe you said this. Now, you can believe Garcelle said some shit, but it fucked you up that Sutton said that was a chess move that you made, pulling him off camera, telling him not to talk about that Morgan girl. Because you could have said that shit exactly on camera. You could have said, and when they asked your ass at the table, I don't want to talk about Morgan. I can't talk about Morgan. The little time that she did me a favor coming on the show, it really fucked her up. She thought about drinking again. Her anxiety has come back. And blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to talk about this shit no more. And don't ask me no more about Morgan. Then that would have been the end of it. But, maybe one day I'll be able to tell you a great story. All that stupid ass shit. Get the fuck out of here, Kyle. So anyway, I'm pissed off because she don't share shit. She don't share. The only time she tells some shit is when she done had enough of it. She don't tell shit about her kids. She don't tell nothing about Mauricio or none of that shit. And you know Mauricio, dog. Cause look at all them times they had them white parties at her house. And she be all over them. Get out of my husband's house. Get out of my house. Get out of my husband's face, you bitch. Cause Kyle, she don't play that shit. She don't play. So anyway, she know that nigga dog. I wasn't supposed to say that. So anyway, they started talking about this shit with the break-in. No, so Erika say, is that true, Garcelle? Does Sutton always have to support you, or can you do it yourself? She said, I support. She don't have to. I support her because that's what friends do. So Kyle was like on the boat, all y'all was. She had a problem with Erika, and all y'all fucking with me, and ain't none of y'all say nothing. But it's because you're more important. You're important to. So she says you're important to Sutton. She said, it ain't my fucking problem. And she said shit right in front of Sutton's face. You just see Sutton's face when she said it. She said, you're important to Sutton. She's like, that's not my fucking problem. I was like, damn. She said, all y'all important to her. Jennifer, this one, that, man, ain't none of y'all say nothing. She said, and I don't appreciate you. You want Kyle to support me, to support you by fucking with me. She said, no, I want her to support me as my friend. Yeah, by fucking with me, by coming for me. Yeah, what the fuck is that about? So she's like, I'm sorry, Kyle. She shouldn't apologize. So Kyle says, you know what? When y'all two bitches together, y'all the mean girls. And they was like, oh, they kind of is. They are. They gossip and shit a lot. I mean, they be girlfriends, but they be doing the same mean shit. Like, oh, did you see Mauricio on the paper? Y'all was doing some mean ass shit. Yeah. The last couple seasons, Garcelle and Sutton, y'all been on some bullshit. So Garcelle. So anyway, Annie and them start talking about the breakup. And Dorit said, why the fuck you keep talking about that? She said, I don't keep talking about that. And she said, yeah, you do. Why the fuck do you think that we would? I didn't say you did. She said, you trying to insinuate that my husband had something to do. She said, I did not say that. Roll that tape back. So they rolled the tape back. She said she don't believe that Dorit had anything to do with it. So then she was like, why would you say it? She said, it's just my feelings, my instinct. Well, your instinct is off. And then here come big head bows, putting her big bow head in there. Oh, that's very, very, really, really. I said, bitch, how many times you gonna say really? She said it like 4 times. Really, 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 really terrible. Yeah, whatever. So she said, as with no evidence, nothing, no facts, nothing to say. She said, I ain't gotta have no facts. I'm telling you how I feel about it. And that's how I feel. And Danny said, well, I kind of feel about that because when they robbed your ass, they said, here's your phone and count to 20 and I think that was it. Who the fuck does that? When they rob you, even your phone is of value. I'd have gave you that phone, but you wouldn't be able to call no goddamn body because wouldn't been no chip. No, I wouldn't have gave you the phone. Wouldn't been no. I wouldn't have known because you can still use 911 in case of emergency calls. I wouldn't have gave her goddamn phone back because when you gave me my phone, I wouldn't have counted till 20. I'd have counted as soon as I'd have counted none. As soon as you was staying there, when I saw you no more, I would be dialing and fucking counting at the same time. I don't know. So she said my husband didn't know anything about it, and if he did know something about it, you trying to say my husband is a sociopath, that he would have armed men coming to my house and he go Erica with her kids in there and just and traumatize me like this and our kids for our life. And then she said, "Listen, bitch, I just done said I ain't saying no more. Sorry, but damn, never seen nobody. I mean, I'm black. Most we get robbed. Motherfuckers don't give us the means to get help." So then she says, "Does anybody else feel this way?" Of course, ain't none of them bitches say nothing. They all just have their mouths shut. So that's when Bo said, "That's very dangerous. Really, 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 really terrible. Shut your ass up." And I said, "Look at Sutton. She's saying that she ain't saying shit. She ain't saying that she agreed with her. She ain't trying to explain how Garcelle trying to make it better. Now she's just sitting there letting Garcelle hang herself. Sorry, bitch. See, that's why I tell y'all I ain't got no girlfriend. Y'all think I'm bullshitting. And you know why I don't? And I sit around here in the real life, and I sit around here on these YouTube streets, and these content creators and shit. They all be real good friends with each other, loving on each other, visiting each other, doing little lives and pounds with each other. Wait 2-3 weeks, and then all the whole shit fall apart. Your mama stink, your coochie stink. You don't make no money. They doxing one another. Child, no. So anyway, what else happened? Yeah, she's telling me that they mean girls. And you know, she laughed and she said she got compassion for all women. I'm just stabbing around there if I do my last page. So, oh, Erika had asked Dorit was she scared about what's going on in her marriage with Pecan. She said, "No, I ain't scared." She said, "I know this, I love him, but I'm finna have me some peace." So Sudden starts saying when the shit start getting heavy, she gonna look over there to Garcelle for happiness. How about she ain't turn her goddamn head over there, look at Garcelle not one time. Mm-mm. So Bose was telling us too about her relationship with Key Lee, you know, because okay, let me do Bose because I think I forgot her that I don't know. It seemed like she railroading the fuck out of Garcelle. She was like, I went out with Garcelle before we started taping, and I found out for real that she didn't want to spill no tea. She didn't tell me shit. She was like, I want you to develop your own relationships with people. I think she probably could have explained to Boaz better because her being African, the only African American black woman on the show, and then Bo's the next one. I think Bo's kind of took that as fucked up. But I do understand the move that Garcelle made because we all have done it. Not all of us, but you meet somebody and you start liking them better than the person that you liked at first, and they build a bond, and then one day you start talking about the person that linked y'all two up, and you start spilling how this bitch was talking about you. Girl, she said this about you. Girl, when I met you, she said this, she said that. And that changes their relationship with them. And once they know you went out with them and they know what they, this shit just a whole big ass, it's a telephone game without no phone. So she did right. Learn how to do your own shit and then how you feel about each one. And you can even talk to me about each bitch. I ain't gonna go back and tell nobody, which you know they always do. Because if Bose would have said something fucked up about Sutton, who was Sutton, this person that introduced her to Bose to the group, that shit wasn't gonna go well. You know what I mean? So, Bose said she had a hard time with Kyle because, you know, what was that about? But It might be just the black thing, because she said she have a hard time opening up to all new people. I don't ever see her having a hard time opening up to no people but the black girls. The Anne Marie, who she swore she loved. But when Anne Marie was running her goddamn mouth, she took Kyle hauled ass about her business. I don't know her, but you brought her to the show and said y'all was good friends and had a lot of shit in common. You ain't get along with Garcelle because you think she tried to stiff your ass for 5 G's. And she might have, but you should have known that ain't no shit she supposed to say on TV about black people, because I already said we don't pay our bills. Then I had to turn around and watch the Real House of Atlanta. I think Drew did the same thing. But anyway, I'll leave that alone. Plus, I went to a Belmar event to buy some shit, and the girl counted up the tickets and was watching who was leaving with a bag. And Drew never, this is a sidebar, Drew never had a bag in her hand. This is Atlanta. She ain't had no bag, but she said she bought a $2,000 blazer for her son. Drew don't spend no money. Mm-mm. So, Bo tell her she retrieving her eggs. She in the process of doing that now. So she had a baby for this man. So Bo said she didn't like how people was fucking with her about, them two being together trying to have a baby. She was like, I ain't had a baby in 16 years. And for what happened to me, the trauma that I had to live through to get to where I am now, it's not cool for people to poo poo on your dreams. Well, they do. When you're on TV, that's what they do too. And you should be used to it. You was in corporate America. People shit on your dreams. So Andy asked about her Malibu house, and she said at the end that she ain't got nothing but a bunch of ashes and rubble that she got to remove, and dealing with insurance companies to decide whether she's going to build. And it's 25 years of hard work because nobody never gave her anything. So she's just left. You are left beyond devastation. So I don't even know what that's like. I'll never want to know. So Andy says he's sorry to her. He also says he's sorry to Dorit because she said that PK is her soulmate and her heart feels like it's broken in a million pieces. So he apologizes to her because everybody know what a broken heart feel like. So Andy talked to Bowles about these fucking red flags, and she said Sutton was real worried because Sutton said, "Yeah, I think when you ain't never been married, you 50, almost 50, ain't never been married, and ain't had no kids. I think you have commitment issues." And Andy said, "I've never been married." She said, "And look at you," and everybody said, "Damn." That's what Bowles said, because she do that black girl shit. Woo, mm, what? That's her shit. So she said, I just thought she might want to flag it. But we already know how Bowles feel about her with Sutton's opinion when it comes to dating. And Sutton lets us know ourselves. When it comes to dating, yeah, you bullshit at it. So Andy said, no, I ain't never been married because I got commitment issues. I don't know if he was playing and trying to be funny with Sutton or being an asshole. I can't tell. So he asked, Bowles let us know, and I figured she did. And if she really watched, then she should have not been that. I'm not trying to say that she's not supposed to be. She's supposed to be easy on Garcelle because she's the only black woman. She's supposed to be understanding to Giselle's plight because she's been in a white world working, and then she's watched the fucking film and saw how Garcelle was treated, even by Sutton in the beginning. What you mean where my money come from? I mean, you don't ask. That's rude. That type of shit. She's seen how Kyle did her. How she heard her say that Kyle was dismissive of her the same way Bose felt. You know what I'm saying? Like some of this shit she should link together. But I will appear that she's an Oreo. So Charles Kyle was real fucked up with that shit with Sutton saying that that move was a chess move, because she wound up saying, I'm just really disappointed in you, Sutton. And I think that fucking fucked Sutton up. But Garcelle was like, so what I got next I wanted to mention? Oh, I wanted to say that, yeah, I didn't like that shit that Bose did. And then they was talking about that other shit where Bose just keep pushing the issue about you shouldn't have said that's really dangerous. I think it's gonna be in that room in there that she tells the Reek that she needs to try to sue Garcelle. So anyway, when Erika told Garcelle that she wasn't interested, she said, that was really mean. That was fucked up. That was mean. All that shit that Garcelle back there in that dressing room when they break for lunch talking that shit to Sutton, that's what the fuck she should have said to Erika. When she said, I just wish you were a little bit more interesting. And I'd be like, bitch, I wish you wasn't a thief. Stealing people money now. What you talking about? Yeah, you get ready to get sued too, ho, for $24 million. So get out of here. I ain't no Tom, bitch. If I had when I get $20 in my account, I know the difference. So how you don't know 20 million, girl? I be like, girl, get the hell out of here. Bye. I be like, clink clink. Yeah, bye. Yeah, I would have gotten Erika ass you fucking, and you just need to be a little more interested. And he said, ooh, ooh, and Bo was like, damn. So she was like, oh, okay, it was really mean. And then Sutton's like, Erika. So, with the shit with the robbery thing, Andy said, I thought y'all was making progress. So we seen them go out to eat this season. And talk about where she gonna go to Sutton's time capsule clothes, whatever the fuck that shit is. And Angie said, "Seems like every time y'all take one step forward, you gotta take another step back." And she was like, "Yeah, it usually work that way for us, and it does." So, even Garcelle thought she was in a better place with Erika. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot I got this thing on. In a better place with Erika, and she really wasn't. She was like, "Damn, I thought it was in a better place." I just thought your life would be more interesting. Like, what the fuck did you do? It took you the whole season to decorate 3 rooms with $37,000. Then you talk shit about Garcelle so bad, you know what I'm saying? And then when the upcoming shit about her house being something burned, here you go decorate somebody whole casita. You renting that shit. They're not gonna give you that 37,000. They might can raise the rent when you leave because you decorated, but no. But she pissed me off. Is that my table? No, bitch, your table's at your house. So anyway, they're going back and forth, and Andy said, it's time to break for lunch. So they break for lunch, and as Garcelle is walking out, is that Ivy putting on this girl's slippers and shit and putting her robe around her because she cold? Is that for sudden talking about, ooh, everybody hate me? And because Andy says it's time to go to lunch, and Kyle says, don't nobody hate you, girl. You all right. But I like that Bo said, hey, I watched it. I got a video love. She said, but it's different than watching it on TV and actually being in this shit. She said, because we spent a lot of intense time together. We spent a lot of time together and it's very intense. And it'd be some real shit. I was thinking, maybe they over exaggerating or they doing a little bit too much. She said, no, it's all right on par. So, when he tell him it's time to go to lunch, oh, they say that other little shit too. Andy asked the Ray, how'd you feel about him? Garcelle say you're ovary in Bo's coochie, and how Kyle said that you up in her ass, and she said I thought it was she said she thought I didn't like it. She said she thought it was crass, but it's tasteful. Whatever the fuck she didn't appreciate it. So I think we're on my last little page now. As they walk in, yeah, Garcelle leaving. She said, "Damn, I thought it was gonna be Sutton in the hot seat. They got me. I ain't know shit. It's not Sutton. It ain't Sutton at all. They all in love with me." So Sutton goes to Garcelle's room and knock on the door, and she come in there playing dumb. So what's up? So she said, nothing. Fuck Erika saying that bullshit about me, that we mean girls, and all this type of shit. And she said, and then Sutton says, well, I kind of feel like you threw me on the bus just a little bit. She said, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, you be all right. You a big girl. So Sutton said, it's going to get real hard for me now. So Sutton and Sutton and Garcelle said, we're not no mean girls. Fuck you. She said, fuck you, Erika. She said, because I ain't married no old ass motherfucker with a foot in the grave. And because I ain't got no criminal activity going around. And I ain't got no husband, no boyfriend that's cheating on me and shit. I can't make up my life. This is what the fuck I do because I work hard and earn my shit. What do you want? So she was like, I ain't got to answer none of these bitches. The hell with them. So it goes off after that, and we see part two. And what you really see to me is that for the time that they've been on the show, you see the real shit pulled back. I always thought that the Reed was playing into Eric Kyle because she had been she an OG on the show, and she had been there a long time. And they kiss her ass and kiss ass and kiss ass, and Erica do it too, and they've even said it. I've heard them say that the ones that was one and done seasons say that when they go to the show, a couple times has been mentioned to them. But one time in particular, Erica, I think she told Crystal, I think she told that this is Kyle's show. Yep. So I think the read like, man, fuck her. I had to stay here in my own, or I won't stand on my own. So I don't know. I think this is a really good review. I think they all should go home and change their clothes so what they got on look terrible as fuck. I think I covered the most important parts of the thing, but yeah, I know Erica is a bitch, and I think Garcelle stayed too long. I think for she leave that show for she walk off, I'm praying, even though nobody ain't said it, that she sat there and told every last one of them bitches what she had to say and made something for less. I was like, you are them bitches. You know what? They get rid of me when they wasn't fucking with me. They wasn't fucking with you. And they ain't gonna fuck with you either because you the white girl, the lowest one on the totem pole. You be gone next. I don't know what they're gonna do with Bose. And then I didn't like this either that Bose said this to Garcia. If you think that what the Rican can say to me will change my opinion of you, then you don't think much of yourself. I've been like, bitch, I think because I ain't been at Apple and Microsoft. And how long was you there, ho? Because all them jobs, you should have retired at one of them motherfuckers. You like every 3 years you was in rotation. What the fuck is you talking about? You just a marketeer. I don't know. I don't know. I was feeling Bose. I mean, I ain't one of them people. I don't buy black everything. I buy what the fuck I like. So I don't know. I think this was a good one. Damn, I stayed here for a long time. Listen, you could have been anywhere, but you was here with me. But it's 42 minutes and 35 seconds, and I love you for it. Thank you, and I'll be right back with another recap. Bye now.